that's a true overhead number. You know, you have to pay rent for the headquarters, you have to pay the CEO, CFO, in general, salaried employees. These people will get paid regardless of what their sales are. So you cannot write that off as cost of revenue. And they're not talking about paying premium, paying a commission to salespeople. So these are salaried employees, or even if it's salespeople, it's their basic salary, not their whole compensation. And then you have total operating expenses, and these are basically some of those. This is the so-called loss from operations. In this case, gross profit minus the, let's actually insert a line. I'm going to copy these. I'm going to calculate something called operating margin, not margin, or as they call it in Boston, margin. They never found an R that they would actually pronounce. You know, the biggest joke you make for a person with a Boston accent: did you park the car in Howard Yard? Take the gross profit, deduct top two operating expenses, and divide it by total revenue. Okay. Now, that also says quite a bit about the firm. This firm actually is improving its operating margin quite a bit. And you may have to do an adjustment to that when we figure out how much of that R&D is actually due to cost attributed to options. We can make an adjustment. But for now, I'm just looking at that. Let me take that and put it in the 10Q as well. And was that what I did it? 14. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Control I. Or Control Z actually. Let me insert the line first. I think I put it in the wrong place. After loss from operations, yeah. Oh, okay. Escape, what gets me from the, okay. gonna stick to my color formatting. This also tells me quite a bit. Compared to last year, the company went from negative operating margin to positive operating margin, even with any cost that is technically not an operating cost, they have been hidden in there. So things are improving. Then you obviously have non-operating expenses. In this case, company actually has interest income because they don't have much debt, but they have a lot of cash, and they get interest income. And it's not too surprising that they have interest income. A, their cash has increased over this year, or cash-like assets have increased, and B, interest rates are higher. So some of that let me insert a line here again. Let's call it EBT margin. Earnings before tax, that's what EBT is. Let me see. Actually, I want to copy it. I want to cut that one. This thing is playing a havoc on my eyes. Take the income or loss before the provision of taxes, divided by total revenue. Last year they were actually losing money. This year they're making money. In fact, when you create the series, you're going to find out that they were profitable for 4 quarters. That actually allows them to be part of the S&P 500 index. If you see a big move of this share price in late December, in addition to markets, that may be the reason. Because do you know what happens when a company is included for the first time in an index like S&P 500 or NASDAQ 100? Obviously they gain prestige, but market doesn't go up too much just because of prestige. There's actually a very real reason a company like that goes up in price quite a bit when that happens. Can you guess what that is? I know this is not an investments class, but I don't think anybody's going to teach you this in your investments class. What happens when a company goes into the S&P 500 index? Do you know of any investment vehicles that tries to mimic the behavior of S&P 500 index? Index funds and ETFs for those index funds. Let me show you the value of just a few ETFs. For example, SPY, S&P 500 index fund. It's Asset under management should be somewhere here. Why is it not here? Ah. I can see it on my phone application, so I'm going to read it off from there. SPY. It's $393 billion. Okay, and we can actually see again not on the computer app, but I can tell you the top 10 components. Fully 7.15% of this ETF is invested into Microsoft's stock. The reason that's the case, this is a market cap weighted index. Okay? That means companies get a weight that is commensurate with their market value. Just to figure out, I can actually get it from Microsoft. Microsoft has a market cap of 2.65 trillion. Or let me get that from FinanceYahoo.com. I may get a more precise number. Statistics. Where is the market cap? Why can't I see it here?